Hello and welcome. My name is Joel from the Eagles batch of Java Institute for Advanced Technology, and in this video I'm going to be talking about how the web container handles a request. But before we get into it, let's first of all take a look at what a web container is. So a web container is basically a component that is in the server that has the ability to control servlets, and one of its main responsibilities is to map servlets to a given URL while making sure that the requester has the relevant access rights. So now let's take a look at some of the reasons why we need a web container. And in the first point, it says that it provides communication support. This simply means that we do not have to create any kind of server sockets or streams, because the web container takes care of this part for us, and with this servlets can easily communicate with our server. And in the second point, it says that it provides servlet lifecycle management. This simply means that our web container has the full ability to determine the life and death of the servlets that we create by loading the classes, instantiating and initializing the servlets, and also invoking the servlet methods, and also by making the servlet instances eligible for the garbage collected. In the third point, it says that it provides multi-threading support, and what this means is that the container has the ability to create a new Java thread for each servlet request that it gets, and this helps us to not worry about managing threads for multiple requests that comes into our server. And in the fourth point, it says that it provides declarative security. So what this means is that with the XML deployment descriptor that comes with the web container, we can configure and modify our security without having to hard code it manually. And also this means that we don't have to touch our Java source files whenever modifying or changing our security. In the final point, it says that it provides JSP support by translating all the JSP files into Java files. So now let's take a look at how the web container handles a request. So basically what happens is whenever a client request comes into the server, the server then accepts that request, and then it passes that request into its web container. After that, the web container then will create two objects. The first object is the HTTP servlet request object, and the second object is the HTTP servlet response object. And after those two objects have been created, then the container will find the correct servlet based on the URL in the request, and create or allocate a thread for that request, and after that it will then pass these two objects that it created into the thread. And next the web container will call the servlet's service method, and depending on the type of request that it gets, it will then call the doGet or doPost method. In this case here it shows that the container has called the doGet method. So whenever in this case the doGet method gets executed, a dynamic page will then get generated and then be passed into this response object that the container created, and after that it will be passed to the web container, which will then give it back to the server, and after that the server then will return the response to the client. So that is basically how the web container handles a request, and that's all for this video.